My next guest is here. Richard Forrester is here. He has birthed a new business in town, and talking about some of the creativity in town, he brings some of it. Richard Forrester, welcome to the program.
How's it going, Richard?
I'm doing great, buddy.
Richard and Richard, right?
There you go, Rico and Rico. I like that. All right. Hey, before we get into your Born in Bakersfield video series, tell me something a little about yourself. Did you grow up here?
No, I did not grow up here. You know, my parents moved here, and my family, my sisters kind of all moved here, I don't know, probably 15 years ago. I moved here about 10 years ago. From Orlando, Florida.
What were you doing in Orlando?
I went to Full Sail there. I went to a school there. I was working with businesses such as Nike, Microsoft. I lived in Dallas for a while, working with Mark Cuban and the Mavericks and everything. And so pretty much it's just been kind of, place to place that I've been working in like big cities. And, I was like, I miss California.
Interesting. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in like San Bernardino, like Victorville, around that area. Right. Born in Orange County. Born and raised in like San Bernardino.
Where in Orange County were you born?
I don't know. It was just.
You don't know where you were born?
I don't know where. It
was
just.
I have amnesia or something?
No, I moved to San Bernardino like right after when I was born and everything.
But what do you put on your when it says born in what city? What are you?
Born in Orange County.
Just Orange County.
Just Orange County. Yep, that's it.
Wow. First person I met doesn't know where he was born, and he's going to run a business. You fill out those IRS forms. So you've lived here for how long?
About 10 years now.
Okay. Well, give us for those who don't know what bored, not born, bored, B-O-R-E-D in Bakersfield is. What was the genesis of this project, and where did this idea come from?
A gentleman named Ricky Marcel came to me one day, and he said he wanted to start a kind of a show, and so we kind of put some ideas together, and we decided with Bored in Bakersfield. And so bored as in like you're bored in your city, nothing to do. And I said, the first 5 minutes of it, I said, that's a horrible idea. And then I started thinking about it for 5 minutes later, and I was like, actually, that's a really great idea, because I think that'll give it the opposite of what other people are thinking, to where pretty much when you are bored in any city, and I've lived in big cities such as, Orlando, Dallas, LA even, and you can be bored in those cities.
You can be bored anywhere.
You can be bored anywhere, and that's what I'm saying, from a small city to a big city. And there's places out there like Yelp and Facebook that has those kind of stuff, and you can look it up in Google and see the ratings on that stuff. But I decided, maybe we just need to bring out some content from people here that actually know about what's going on, and shine the light on some businesses, some places to go eat, some events, to actually show what we can do, and positive places,
Okay, so you started this off as a hobby, right?
It was a hobby about probably about 2 years ago. We started it off, and it was just something where we filmed an episode once a month to go see kind of the places on what we can do. We started at like Rosemary's, the Padre, going out golfing, and
were you a on-air host?
I was.
Okay. All right.
I had to be at first, actually. I didn't want to be, but then
it was a company of one, right?
It was me and Ricky at first, and we were just kind of putting it together ourselves. And I didn't really want to be a host, but then I got more used to it, and I found out I have a lot to bring to people, to show them what we can do in Bakersfield. And I haven't lived here as much as people have been born here in Bakersfield. Sure. And some people, I actually talk to a lot of people that don't go to as many places as I do. And I'm like, there's so much to do here in Bakersfield.
So the play on words, bored in Bakersfield, is like, it plays on the cliche that there's nothing to do here, right?
Exactly. I think that when you're bored in any city, you don't know what to do. You have to go look up Yelp or Facebook or anything. But I think when you're bored here in a small city like this, and it's a big city actually, I think just people don't know what to do. And that's the thing. I really want to kind of show people what to do. And in the last 2 years, we've been a lot of places, seen a lot of things, met a lot of people, and I think it's a great city, and that's why I've actually stuck around. When I first moved here, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know much of the city. I actually lived on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when I didn't know what exactly Bakersfield was until I started moving kind of downtown and to the west side and to the north side, south side. I started seeing a lot of things in Bakersfield. And I was like, wow, there's a lot to do here in this little city.
For being a big little city, we
A
are
big little city.
we are the ninth largest city in California.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the way what struck me when I moved up from LA, you know, which was a conglomeration of municipalities, you know, true cities, you know, with their own council and governments and cops and all that, fire departments, was how different the feeling is if you live in the Northwest. It's a really different city than if you live on the east side near Garces.
Absolutely.
If you live downtown where I do, it's a really different city from where I used to live out by the marketplace when I was raising my kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a different feel, it's a different traffic pattern, where we go, what we do on the weekends. So that's part of what you're doing is like being an eye for people who maybe don't spend. If you're out in the Great Southwest behind the third wall in Seven Oaks, chances are you're not spending a lot of time on the east side, right?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you're saying. A lot of people don't know the great things we have downtown. I'm a big promoter for what we have downtown in Bakersfield. Downtown is the heart of what our city is. A lot of people come downtown from outside the city to see what we have to offer. When you go to any other place, you go to the middle of the city, you go to downtown, you go to the original parts of those city. And I think what happened with Bakersfield is we kind of, we haven't built the downtown that we needed, and now it's really starting to flourish. Now there's businesses, there's so many places for food. The most food that you could possibly think of down there. There's so many little spots.
I think what's interesting, and maybe you should do an episode on it, is what's going on East 18th Street, what they call East Chester now. It started with Cafe Smitten, and then with Councilman Bob Smith's apartment complex, and now across the street from Smitten, there's an art gallery going in.
Yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 restaurants. It's all like happening. Telling you before we get too much farther, we're talking to Richard Forrester. Richard, how old are you?
I'm 34 now.
34. Where do people access board in Bakersfield? Where do they find? Does it cost anything, or where do they go?
No, it's actually free to everybody. What we did, we put it on Facebook, and that's where we originated our spot. And I think we put out the most content we can on Facebook. We do have an Instagram. We do have.
So, excuse me, are you just board in Bakersfield on Facebook?
Board in Bakersfield on Facebook, right there. That's, you type it into any social media, and I think even on Google, you'll find all of our networks on there. We even have a website. We're updating it constantly, putting up the new episodes. But Facebook, Instagram is where we put out all of our new stuff.
Okay, and how long is an average episode?
Well, for Instagram, you can only put up a minute.
Okay.
So we try to cut it down a minute on Instagram, but on Facebook, we usually have anywhere from 3, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. And when you say we, who are the we? This is your company now, right?
It is my company as running it as owner, but as we have hosts, I can't do it all. And other people bring a lot to the factor of what we have on a show. They have different views, they have different tastes, they have different places they want to go and showcase. I cannot do it all. I am not even born of Bakersfield, so I have to have other people kind of show me what they like in Bakersfield.
Right.
So we have other hosts, we have videographers, we have photographers on hand, and they all help me produce the media as kind of like a team now. And now we're kind of transitioning into a kind of like a sponsorship program. So we would like to be a company and everything, so we can have this and have everybody paid and on set.
How do you determine, what does success look like? Is it tracking how many people have viewed it, time spent? How do you know when you're going to pitch a sponsor? You go, we're doing this really cool thing. They're going to go, well, who watches you?
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
So we do have statistics on Facebook. They actually have, demographics, how many people are viewing it, and then of course we have the same thing on the websites, the Instagram, and it shows all those demographics. Now that we do have those social media networks and they have business kind of platforms, you can see who's watching it and how many people are watching it. And that's what we usually pitch to sponsors. The big thing is about it too is that we promote positivity in Bakersfield. And so when sponsors are looking at it, they're saying, we want to be a part of this because it's a positive thing in Bakersfield. A biggest probably success to me is that I've seen outside people message me and they said, you know what, we're so happy that you started this because we've seen something we like and we went and checked it out. People in Bakersfield have said the same thing. So I get those messages and that's the success that I kind of see.
There is a craving in this town. I retired from the Bakersfield Californian, and our monthly magazine, Bakersfield Life, part of my job as the CEO was to kind of shepherd that. The editor reported to me. And one of the things that very much like you were doing was we wanted to accentuate the positive. We wanted to be aspirational. We wanted the magazine to represent, maybe not what Bakersfield is, but what we want it to be. And that would be a world of smiles and positivity. And
Sure.
we're not going to write about gangs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And those things exist in any community. But I don't
any
think people
community.
want to. When you live here, you don't want to be dragged down with bad news.
Well, it's the same thing as news or anything like that you see on TV. When you come to board in Bakersfield, you're coming there for specific reasons to see the new things in Bakersfield. And just as you said, some of the new things on the 18th on the downtown, that new building downtown. I don't know if you know, it has the really nice awnings. And it's a little restaurant that's about to be open. Do
you know what that's going to be?
That's
the old bank building. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be called the 1800, and it's going to be a great little restaurant. I met with the owners and everything.
Nice.
They're wonderful people,
Nice.
and they have already had a restaurant here. I think Famous Burgers in Oildale, and they actually have a really great business here and in LA, and they've been doing this a long time. And now they're turning it into a restaurant. So
When are they going to open? Do you know?
they're literally opening January. They were telling me that they are hoping to open in January. They got everything fixed.
I saw the awnings go up, and I could see through the windows, and they got a bunch of old black and whites of old Bakersfield.
Exactly what you're saying.
That you see in Pyrenees and wool growers.
Well, the crazy thing is they have a picture of all, like, they had a little bike club and everything, and there's a picture right there on the street, and it's amazing. And you can see the building in the back just as it was in the old time.
Oh, when it was a bank building?
Yes.
They have that on the wall?
They had it with them all in the little bikes.
You're breaking some news here. It's going to be called the 1800.
The
And
1800.
What kind of cuisine?
They have not. They don't want to release it yet.
Okay.
Because it's going to be really special, and they are really happy. They're excited. You can find them on Instagram though.
Okay.
And so I just started following them, and we started seeing their stuff. They didn't want to release any food or anything like that yet. But stuff like that is
That's
happening.
awesome. That's great. Tell me about how you determine the topics for what you're going to be. You told me earlier you're doing about one a week now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the easiest way to find is to go to the Facebook page. It'll be streamed live on there. How do you determine do you have a group of people sit down and say we should do X and X and X? Or?
Okay, so I'll tell you what we have for kind of our tagline is fun, food, and exploration. Okay, so the first topic is kind of like fun for anything that we're trying to do. We're trying to promote events. So any events that we're going to, anything that we can have access to, whether it be a big event, something at the Fox, something at Rabo Bank, we try to, cover as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Food, everybody can relate to. We all gotta eat.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we all want some good food, and especially the east side of town, the west side of town, doesn't matter, downtown. I try to make sure that there's a good kind of variation. We actually just went to the Hen's Roost downtown, the vegan place.
I love the Hen's Roost.
I didn't know anything about it. I'll tell you, I'm not.
Have you had the Impossible Burger?
No.
Oh my God!
I
It
had the
tastes
grilled
exactly like a real burger. It's a soy burger.
I know that was the crazy thing. I had the chicken KFC or KFT or something like
I
that.
hadn't had that.
It's the chicken like tofu burger. Is what you're saying?
Right.
And I could not tell the difference.
You can't tell the difference. Amazing?
I ate the whole thing, and
Yeah.
I am not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a person. I'm a meat guy.
Right.
And some of us are meat guys.
Right.
But that place, they did it right. And,
A new sponsor of the show starting in January is Guapo's Tacos. I have them on.
Yeah.
They're down off White Lane, just east of the 99, and they have everything, but they also have a vegan menu.
Yeah.
And he brought chorizo, steak, and chicken tacos in here. I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And it was all the seasoning, he said. It was the same kind of soy-based product. It was the same product in each one of those, but it looked different, it tasted different.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they're doing.
It is. It's absolutely amazing how they do the vegan food. It's not the vegan food that you've had in the
No,
80s.
it's really evolved. We're talking to Richard Forrester here. We only have a few more minutes. Richard, tell me about some episodes coming up. Or tell me about some episodes that have gotten a lot of traction that you're particularly proud of.
So I'll tell you quick episodes coming up though. We do have Julio Torres with the veteran community, so he's actually made focus on what to do with the veterans and everything. So I do have different segments coming up. The foodies, they're always doing different stuff. The most we got was there's so many episodes we've had so much traction. Anywhere from the Wing Festival to Saunders, that's a really good place.
Okay.
A lot of episodes they just start building and everything. The Mark, we always go to the Mark. That's a really good episode. But yeah, even like Hen's Roost, we just went to the Hen's Roost, and we're going to be releasing that here soon. Now we have a couple people that are just finding different places, new places, or very authentic places in Bakersfield. So that's just kind of what we try to do.
That's awesome. Richard Forrester, it's called Board in Bakersfield. It's a video streaming service. You can find it on Facebook, Board in Bakersfield. What's your website called?
BoardinBakersfield.com.
Board in Bakersfield, and that's easy enough. Richard, thank you. I think it's exciting what you're doing. It's good. I love that you're accentuating the positive. We need more of that. We need to feel better about ourselves here. And there's great places, and I think that anytime, as I alluded to before, there's just people who, I'll see people and I'll go, hey, have you been to X restaurant? Say Mamma Mia's, right? It was going to be right next door to the 1800. And they'll go, oh no, I don't go downtown, it's too dangerous. I said, you are missing out.
It's really not anymore. It's getting a lot better of what people have thought.
Sure.
So
Right. There aren't bouncers killing people downtown
No.
like there was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Richard Forrester, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
Good luck. Board in Bakersfield, you need to check it out. Check it out on Facebook or go to the website boardinbakersfield.com. Richard, thank you. JR, let's give those tickets away. We've got 2 tickets to Valley Plaza, Reading Cinemas, 842-5376, 842-KERN. If you were caller number 5. We'll be right back as we head to the 3 o'clock hour in the Ralph Bailey Show. We'll be right back here on Newstalk 1180, the new 96.1 KERN.